Assalamu alaikum. Welcome everybody to lesson three. Sorry, we're slightly late. There were some technical issues, but we sorted now. So I'd like to welcome you all back to lesson three of the Simplifying Depression series. And as you know, the aim of these four sessions is to help us to simplify depression. So let's see what have we covered so far. Wow. So in the first week we covered briefly an understanding of depression. And then last week we covered treatment options for depression. In this week, I want to cover an important topic that's called supporting loved ones with depression. Now, I did say to you that because of the internet, we can Google up anything. I mean, really, knowledge is available everywhere these days. There's really nothing one can't get on the internet. The difficulty, I suppose, is how does one sift all this knowledge? And I found in my work, in my practice, I've been a clinical psychologist now for what's it, 34 years almost. I find that this is a neglected topic. So very often we focus on our patient or on our clients, and we forget that they are family members who have to deal with this. So I thought that for this series, we'd focus a little bit on, so how do you support a loved one who has depression, or a friend or a family member? All right, so that's the aim of today's topic. And as always, I'll try and stop about 10 minutes before so that I can answer whatever question or try to answer the questions that you may have, inshallah. So let's go. So the first thing is that for you to help somebody else with depression, you have to be able to recognize it yourself in them. So now remember, today's topic is not about you as a depressed person. I'm talking about you generally, but it's about helping others, loved ones, family members, colleagues who have depression. First, to help them, one has to recognize that there are signs of depression in other people. So if you have a family member, and remember I said in our very first conversation that um, we have to change the language of how we talk. So if you're having a bad day, don't say, I'm depressed. That's not true. Okay, we really have to change the language around so we recognize the seriousness of depression, and by not using it for everything. I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad few hours, I'm having a bad 1 or 2 days, and you say, I'm so depressed, I'm so depressed. Don't say that. Say, I'm having a bad day, or I'm not feeling well today, or today I'm feeling quite sad, or today I'm angry, today I'm irritable, been irritated for the last 2 days. So please, if I can encourage you to change the language. I've been doing this every week, saying change the language, so that we keep depression as the special category that it is, a serious mental illness that affects your mood, your behavior, your interaction. So here's it. So starting out. So in order for you to help, you first have to recognize. So here are the things to look out for. You look out for, okay, persistent sadness. So when I talk to you now, I'm going to talk as if we're talking about you observing either a family member, a colleague, or a friend that you want to help. Okay, if you don't want to help, that's a different thing. But if you want to help a friend, a colleague, a family. So when I talk today, it's about friends, families, colleagues uh, that you want to help. So first thing is you're looking for these symptoms over at least 2 weeks. Okay, persistent sadness. So if someone seems consistently down or sad for at least 14 days, okay, think about that. Right. So remember, these are people that you either work with or live with, or family members that you know of. So you'll be able to recognize changes. If you have a family member, a sibling, a spouse, you're able to recognize changes in behavior. So remember, persistent sadness means over a 2 week period, you notice that they are consistently sad. Yeah, consistently tearful. They seem to be crying in their room, or maybe you hear them crying in the bathroom, not for just 1 or 2 days. That you can, that's a quick thing. Okay, loss of interest. So you notice that there's a change, a loss of interest in things that you know that they're normally very interested in. So if you have a like sibling who always watches TV and that suddenly they're not anymore. Or if they crack jokes a lot and for at least 2 weeks that stopped. Or if they play sport and they suddenly say, I don't want to play anymore. Okay, and they're not injured. There's no injury, but they just suddenly say, I don't feel like it anymore. I don't want. If you're the kind of person who cracks jokes and they always laugh at your jokes, and you notice now that they just look at you and they have no interest in that. Just change the slide slightly. Sorry, Mark. Here we go. Right. So you're looking for changes or loss of interest in things that normally are of interest to these people. Then changes in appetite or weight. If you notice that your loved one, family member, etc., is either losing weight or gaining weight, and you see it like over 2 week period, right? Then you're looking for okay, sleep disturbances. Okay, if it's a family member in the house, then you know that they're not sleeping. They're either up till very late, and that's not what they normally do, or they can't get up in the morning. So I said sleep disturbance means either too much sleep, too little sleep. So you're watching for these signs. And then fatigue or loss of energy. If you know them to be people who are energetic or who normally have a lot of energy around things, and suddenly you notice that there's a loss of energy. Again, please, not for 1 or 2 days, but for a persistent period of time. And to make the diagnosis, we need at least 14 days of all of these symptoms. Okay, so you 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 notice that there's a loss of energy, that they're just tired, they don't want to do things anymore. Okay, keep it in mind. Then feelings of worthlessness or guilt. So you hear them say things like, I'm feeling worthless. I don't feel like life's worth living. Or if they constantly say, it's my fault, it's my fault. I caused that, I caused that. And that's going on. So remember, these are not in isolation. You could look at all of them or most of them. Then difficulty concentrating. So where they're suddenly becoming very forgetful. If they've been historically forgetful and they continue, that's not, but where somebody is, you notice that they are forgetting things, they're forgetting appointments, they're forgetting meetings consistently, and they're not like that. They're forgetting where they left their stuff. Now, I mean, on 1 or 2 days, it's fine. Other day, I was talking on my phone, and I spent 5 minutes looking for my phone when I'm actually talking to somebody and saying, I can't find my phone. I've left it somewhere. Now, I'm not depressed. I just wasn't paying attention. So, but if I'm doing that consistently, well, it's a problem. So concentration, where you're forgetting things, you are consistently for over 14 days, you can't remember things, you're forgetting things, you don't know where you've left things, you're missing appointments, you're forgetting important things. Right. So that's one of the other things. And then irritability or restlessness. So irritability or restlessness is where, okay, the person has unexplained irritability. So there isn't anything clear that happened. They didn't get a traffic fine, or like the boss didn't shout at them, or if it's your sibling or your child or your spouse, there was no fight, but they're just irritable and they're just crabby and they just upset a lot for a consistent period, and small things set them off. So it's like you just say one thing, and then they just snap at you like that. Now, again, you could be having a bad day. So all of these are where you notice this continuously for about 14 days or longer. Okay, withdrawing from others, they sit in their room, they don't want to talk to anybody. They don't talk to you. Like you normally have nice, engaging conversations, and now they just sit in their room, or they just sit in the car, or they don't want to talk to anybody. So that's a emotional and withdrawal. And then where they start getting unexplained aches and pain, they complain all the time. Now, of course, I said in our first session that there's all the medical stuff we can do, but I'm talking about now where there's nothing medically wrong, but they often have aches and pains continuously, which was not there before. They complain about aches and pains. This is sore, that is sore. Okay, consistent headaches. They've been to the doctor. Doctor can find nothing wrong and says, I don't find anything. But the person is continuously in pain. And then where they have thoughts of death or suicide, they start saying things like, I wish I don't wake up in the morning. I wish that I just wish that Allah takes me in my sleep. I don't want to be here anymore. Or they're talking specifically around, I think, remember I said in the association, there's ideation, meaning the thought, and then there's the intent, meaning I want to kill myself. So thoughts and intent. So when you see all of these things, okay, these are red flags for you. So if you are a family member, a friend, a colleague, these are red flags for you to say, whoops, something is going on here with my friend, or my loved one, my child, or my spouse. Okay, so it's hard to miss these. I'll go back to them. It's very hard to miss these if they're continuous and you don't know the person to be like this. So if you don't know them to be like this, and they consistently like this for 2 weeks, this is a red flag, meaning that you should be thinking something's up. Something's definitely up here with the person. Right. I need to pay attention. So, what are you supposed to do? Often, first thing is that we feel a little bit helpless. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. So we're going to cover today. Okay, what are you supposed to do? Two important things. One, and I'm going to take you in detail through this. One is support them, and two, to encourage them to seek professional help eventually. Don't start with that. So how does one support people? So you approach them with empathy and sensitivity. And how does this play out? So step one is educate yourself about depression. Okay, a course like this is for education. It's so that we can talk about, okay, the things that you may or may not know. And if you're just like a lay person, you're not a mental health professional, then step one is educate yourself. Find out more about depression. I can't cover everything in this course, obviously. Can't cover everything, but here's step one. So based on what we're talking about, also go and read up a little bit more. Right. Then, sorry, Marf, I really have this. It's still so cold here in Cape Town. I don't understand when the weather's going to get better, but it's really cold. I don't know wherever you are in the world or the country, but Cape Town right now, it's really cold. It's going to start raining again. We've had almost 4 or 5 days of rain. It didn't rain today, but it's cold. And I don't handle cold well. I'm not depressed. I just don't handle cold well. Right. Educate yourself. Then step two is choose the right time and place to have conversations with the person you feel is depressed. I've seen some horrific things. People walk up in a public space, in a workspace, and say, "You look depressed, you're right." Now, think about how you would like somebody to approach you and where you would like them to do it. Can't be done in a workplace. Can't be done in front of a whole lot of other people. It can't be done just before like a really important meeting, or it can't be done, just before something big and important. So you also need to choose. So the second thing is try and choose a quiet, private space. That's important. Quiet, because the person may end up talking and then burst out crying because they can't help it. And now it's a public space, and you know that not everybody is empathic. Some people will start gossiping. Some people will come and interfere and whatever. So if you want to help, choose the right time and place. We're talking about how to approach somebody. Okay, what can I do? You can support them. How do you do that? Okay, empathy and sensitivity. How does empathy and sensitivity play out? Firstly, educating yourself. Secondly, it's choosing the right time and place for you to have this conversation and to ensure that both of you will have time to talk without interruptions. Because once the person eventually feels comfortable to talk, you actually need some space. You can't listen. I've got 5 minutes. Are you depressed? That's not how one should go about doing that. Then, very importantly, listen actively. What does that mean? It means you pay attention to the person. Don't be, where's my phone? If I don't, but so like the person's talking to you, and then you like you're busy checking messages. So say it was me talking to you now. And as I talk to you, I'm busy checking messages. I'm sending messages. I'm waving to people. Oh, hello, how are you? Nice to see you. Right? Or I'm fiddling with stuff. That is the worst possible thing that you can do. If you've managed to get the person to sit and tell you what's happening to them, and then put your phone on silent. Unless you're expecting an urgent call, put your phone on silent. Show the person that they are worthy of being listened to. Remember, if you write about what you've observed, they have a clinical depression. One of the things of depression is worthlessness, helplessness, hopelessness. So listen actively means pay attention to what they're saying. Focus on them. Look at them. Okay. Please, put your phone away. Say to them, look, tell you what, I'm going to put my phone away now. And my phone might ring. I'm expecting an urgent call. But if you're not, say, look, I'm going to put my phone on silent. I'm not going to take any calls. I'm just going to listen to you as you tell me what's going on. That'll make the person feel that they're important enough to be listened to. Right? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what you want. Important enough, okay, to be listened to. Now, the next thing is please don't interrupt. Okay, when somebody's talking, you can ask questions. I'm not sure if I understand what that means. Can you just explain that a little bit more to me? But don't interrupt them. Um, and also, you need to learn words like, I'm here for you. I'm listening to what you have to say now. I'm listening to what you have to say. I'm here for you. I want to help, but I do need to understand what's happening to you right now in order for me to be able to help you. So I'm right here. I'm putting my phone away. We have a nice quiet space. Okay, tell me what's happening. And you can start the conversation like that. So if you do all the settings beforehand, people will then take you seriously. Then, number 4 is acknowledge their feelings. Meaning, if we all have an unfortunate habit of minimizing other people's pain and suffering by saying, oh, but that's nothing. Let me tell you what I went through. You know, when I was whatever. Okay, that is the worst possible thing you can do is to tell somebody how what they're feeling is really not that big because yours has been worse. This is not about, I've seen this happen when I was work with students and I have to supervise them. It's very easy to say, oh, but that's nothing. You know what I went through. So you lost one person. I lost 4 people. Let me tell you how what I went through. Okay. When you do that, the message instantaneously to the person is, once again, I'm not important. My issues are not important. He's right. I'm just making a big thing out of nothing. There's a place for that, but not in the early part of the discussion where you're trying to get the person to share information with you. So please acknowledge, I can see how this feels very painful for you. I can see how this is very hurtful for you. I can see how that this is really stressful for you. You know, it could be a thing like the person's cat died, and maybe you're not a cat person, or you've never lost a pet. So you think a cat, and you say things like a cat, oh, you can just go buy another cat. What's the big deal? Big problem. Don't say things like that because you have no idea how long they've had the cat for 12, 13, 14 years. A cat is a very big, big, big companion. So please don't say things like, what's the big deal? It's really not a big thing. Why are you carrying on like this? I've had worse in my life and look how I survived. Please remember when you're listening with empathy and sensitivity, it's not about you. It's about the person. So I'm trying to share with you basic skills about listening. Right. Then be patient and not judgmental. So understand that the person having depression makes it hard for somebody to articulate their feelings sometimes. And it makes it difficult for them to share. So you being there for them. You don't say things like, you're wasting my time. I took an hour off from work and you're wasting my time. I'm sat here for you 15 minutes. You haven't said anything. You're wasting my time. You know what? I'm not coming back. Okay, that's not helpful. Not helpful at all. If you want to help, don't do that. If you don't want to help, that's also okay. Then don't get involved. But if you want to help, these are the things that you have to do in order to help. So non-judgmentalism. Remember, people don't want to share information because they are afraid of being judged. They are afraid that you're going to criticize them. They are afraid that you're going to call them stupid or whatever it is that you're going to say to them. So maybe that's why they don't want to talk. Okay, being judged is a big thing in our community. People don't want to be judged. And so I said last time, if you have a psychologist or mental health professional who is judgmental of you, you should immediately point it out and say, that's not helpful for me, and find another therapist who's not judgmental. Okay, then number 6, very important. So support is not saying, okay, so here's what you need to do. That's not the right time to offer solutions. When somebody is depressed, immediately saying, oh, right, you know what? I know what this is. Let me tell you what you need to do. There's a time for that. This is not it. In the early phase, that's not the time to be offering solutions. Oh, just leave your job. Don't worry. Or, just leave your spouse. It's okay. Or whatever. No, people, can I please say it's not the right time to offer solutions. First, you have to listen. Second, you have to understand. And third, the person just wants a space to talk and share and maybe unburden themselves. So you must be like a sponge as you just absorb some of the things that people are saying. Please don't immediately launch into solutions based on how you've handled things in the past or what someone else has told you how to handle it. If the person says to you at the end of the conversation, what do you think I should do? Now, that's an invitation for you to then, at that point, make suggestions. But if they haven't asked you, what do you think I should do? My advice is don't offer the solutions yet. First, increase the conversation, increase the connection, increase the support. Mean I'm here for you, I'm listening, I'm paying attention, trying really hard to understand. I'm listening and I'm trying to understand. Okay, then you do get some people that you go and say, listen, like you don't look so good. I'm here for you. Uh, would you like to talk to me about things? These are your friends, your family. I don't mean a stranger now, not a strange person, but your loved ones, your close friends, your colleagues at work. They often people may not be ready to have the conversation. They may not ready the conversation. In that case, don't walk away. Don't walk away. Right. In that case, what you can say to them is, I understand that you may not be ready to talk to me now, but I'm here for you. When you're ready, how about you give me a call? Or, how about I will check in with you tomorrow to see how you're feeling? And maybe you might feel ready to talk to me then. Right. Um, so that's what I mean when I say number 7, respect people boundaries. Don't get angry. Don't get irritated with them. Maybe the topic's really big and they don't feel that they can trust you entirely, but you can say, look, I'm here for you. I understand. You may not be ready to talk to me today. It's okay. I'll pop by again tomorrow. Or you know what? I'll pop by later on at home to see how you are. Or when you're ready, just let me know. Okay, when you're ready, let me know. And I will clear time so we can have a conversation about whatever it is that's bothering you. There are no judgments from me. I'll be here for you. If I can help you, I really will. But I am happy to respect the fact that you may not be ready to talk to me now. Now, the person will appreciate that because you didn't force them to talk. You invited them to talk, but they were not ready. Okay. Then check in regularly. What do I mean by that? So you can send the person a message every day. I'm just checking in on you. How are you doing? Consistency is important. Consistency is important. So check every day with them. Walk up to their workstation and say, I'm just checking on you. How are you feeling today? You know, we tried to talk yesterday. It wasn't appropriate. People are, but I just want to check with you how you're feeling. Or if there's no privacy, send a WhatsApp. You can say, yesterday I promised that I'd check in on you. I'm checking in on you today. How are you doing? Do you feel ready to talk? Are you able to talk? You can make time during lunchtime. Whatever. But that's what I mean, check in regularly, meaning you're showing your interest, okay, regularly, and they may eventually feel this person really cares. I'm going to talk to them. Then I'm going to talk more about this. Through all of this process, one also has to take care of oneself. But I'll talk more about self-care later on. Okay, so I'm hoping, so at this point, what are we doing? Okay, we're looking at what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to support the person, supposed to encourage them to seek professional help. We didn't get to that point yet. I'm going to get to that later. This is first what you can do. How can you do this? You approach the person with empathy, sensitivity, and these are the things that I suggest that you do that helps the person feel that you are empathic and you are sensitive to their plight. So now, what are practical steps that you can take? So those are some of the things to start the conversation. Now, what are the practical things that you can actually do to help the person? So remember, supporting a loved one, okay, with depression can be emotionally very taxing on you. Okay, so remember, this conversation today is about how do I help someone that I recognize has got depression? At the same time, recognize you're not a trained mental health professional, you're just a normal, caring human being. And dealing with a depressed person who perhaps is not ready to get professional help yet, and these are the steps to help the person get there, is emotionally taxing on you as well. But we'll come back to that just now. So let's go to this slide here. And I like this slide. Sorry, Mark. Okay, what are the practical steps to helping? So I said this over and over again. I'm repeating it. Be patient with the person. Okay, be patient with them. Just understand that they have that there's a lot going through for them. Okay, just be patient with them. Then how can you assist? So you can assist people with like daily tasks. So say it's a family member, a loved one. Okay, you can say, listen, you know what? I can offer to pick up the child from school if they have a child. So you can offer assistance within your limitations. You can offer assistance, okay, within your limitations, and you can say to them, I can offer to do things for you. I I can go to the grocery store for you. I can pick the child up from school. I can do whatever small things that you are able to do. Because remember, if you're clinically depressed, right, they just don't have the energy to do stuff. Okay, they don't have the energy to do stuff. So, they might let things fall apart a little bit. So you can offer to help with small things. Again, picking up children, going here, dropping things off, etc. Right. Number three, okay, promote a healthy lifestyle. So a healthy lifestyle, what do we mean by that? So I did speak last time about exercise. And I know that I sound like a nag. We're looking what are the practical steps. We've covered this. We're now going to here again. What are the promote a healthy lifestyle? You by encouraging exercise, even for yourself. So if you are fitter and healthier, okay, you can help. Okay, then you can stay connected. Stay connected meaning like keep talking to people. Okay, stay connected to them. Don't disappear. Then create a routine for yourself. So in your busy life, and please, all of us are busy. Okay, everyone's really busy. We don't often have a lot of time. So you're going to have to create a routine to help your loved one. If you don't create a routine, the chances are that you will not be able, okay, to fit them in regularly. Now, the one thing people need is consistency. Consistency means that you have to create a routine. So in your in your busy day, you can schedule. This time I'm going to pop in to see the person. At this time I'm going to do something for them. At this time I'm going to do that. And then encourage them to take small steps. Small steps. I said last time, if you want to do like a 30-minute class, start with the 5-minute class. So small steps, encourage the person to take small steps practically. Okay, do something small today. Then and you can often say to them, can I help you do this? Can I help you go for a walk with you? Come, we'll go for a walk for 5 minutes. I know you don't feel like it. I know you really don't want to get out of bed, but you know what? Um, I'm coming to fetch you. We'll go for a walk. Okay, just a 10-minute walk. Okay, so that's how you stay the connection. You around promoting a healthy lifestyle, kind of to check that they're eating healthy. Just say to them, let me see what you got in your cupboard. Chocolates, chips, sweets, fatty stuff, not a good time for them to eat that stuff. It doesn't help their bodies at all. So try and encourage them to make small changes, bring fresh fruit to them. Uh, if you can, kind of offer them to change their diet a little bit. Okay. Then I should create a routine. I'll come see you every lunchtime. I'll make sure that, or I'll come every day after work. I'll come for a bit, come hang out with you. And encourage small steps. Come, we're going to go for a small walk, 5 minutes walk, 10 minutes tomorrow, 11 minutes the next day. Then offer distraction. Say to them, come, we'll go watch a show. Or we'll do something. So to try to distract them from what we call the persistent ruminations, right, that people have, the persistent ruminations that they have. They stuck in their head. They're thinking about bad stuff all the time. Okay, you can offer them a temporary distraction from all of that. It won't last, but it has an effect of just taking them to watch a soccer game, or to do something, or to go to the mall, or to go to an art exhibition, or dhikr, and anything that offers a distraction. But at the same time, you must then like respect their space, meaning that if they say no, okay, respect the space. Then number 9, encourage social interaction. So this is where you encourage them to meet other people, not other depressed people, but people who are generally have like a good energy around them. Right? You can encourage that and say, come, we're going to go to this function, go to that party. It doesn't mean that they're going to like it, and they don't have to be the life of the party. You're just simply taking them with, again, to help them get out of that space in their head. Then, okay, the important one is number 10. At some point, you'll realize that the important work that you are doing to try to help your loved one is not working. And at that point, they need professional help. So again, I want to say not everyone needs immediate professional help. Not, it's not the first line. It's after you've done some of these things and you've tried to be there and you've tried to apply all of these things and more that I'm talking about, and you see that it's not shifting. That point, you need to sit them down and say, I think we need to see a mental health professional now. It's not getting better. In fact, you're getting worse. Okay, you're losing weight. You've lost much more weight now. There's a good chance that you're going to get fired from work. So you then encourage professional help after showing the person that they're not getting better. And at that, like I said, there is lots of help. Help is available. Help's available. There are many, many, many psychologists, psychiatrists. Okay, start with the GP if they're uncertain. Usually people have a good relationship um, with their GP. You can even have a chat to the GP if it's a family member or a child or a sibling or a spouse and say, I've tried all of these things and I don't seem to be getting anywhere. I think they need professional. Or you can still do these things and they get professional help as well. So the one doesn't exclude the other. You can continue being helpful, being empathic, sensitive with these practical tips and get them to seek help. Okay, so because at some point they're going to need professional help. In the same way that if somebody falls at home and they get injured, like you can help them, you can massage things, you can rub it in, you can put deep heat, whatever. But if it's not getting better, it's time to say, this thing is swelling. It's swelling even bigger now. It's been 2 days. I've tried everything. I've put ice, I've put deep heat, I've massaged your arm. I think there's a problem. I think it's time for us to go and get some help now. So usually then. And then, of course, whatever treatment plan that the person is given by their mental health professional, be supportive of it. Meaning, don't say things like, oh, those doctors, they just want to make money. They want to put you into the clinic because it's a money-making scheme. People, there are ethics here. Okay, admitting a patient to clinic is a big thing. Those decisions are not made. They're not made very easily. So if, for example, the mental health professional say, look, I think your spouse needs to go to the clinic for a week or two, like be supportive of that issue. Okay, trust the professional that they're doing the right thing for your spouse or your sibling or your very close friend. Say to them, look, I'm with you. I'm here with you. I'll come visit you. Don't worry. I know that you haven't done this before. I'll go with you to have a look at the clinic. Come, I'll go with you. I will go with you. I'll help you. I'll even drive you there. I'll take your clothes and your toiletries. So I will go with you so we can have a look at the clinic together and then we can look at it and you can see whether you like it or not. If you don't, we can find another clinic. So that's where you come in and you're able to then support them on their treatment plan. And if the mental health professional says they need to be like admitted, say, look, fine, you be admitted, I'll come visit. You're not going to be all alone here. So that's what I mean when I say be supportive of their treatment plan. Now, while you're doing all of this, it's taking a toll on you. And I like the slide because you can see there's water and then there's sand. So how do you take care of a depressed person? How do you be helpful and supportive, but at the same time ensure that you don't bomb out yourself? So it's an important topic that's again often not spoken about. So I want to talk about it today as part of my simplifying depression talks is what can you do to ensure that you don't burn out? So as I put here, it's like supporting a loved one uh, with depression can be emotionally taxing. So it's crucial for you to set boundaries and practice self-care to maintain your own well-being while you're trying to help the person. So what do we mean by that? So setting boundaries. What does setting boundaries mean? So setting boundaries means number one, okay, define your limits, meaning Understand what you can and cannot handle. Understand what you can and cannot handle. Be clear about your own emotional and physical limits. So let's say there's been a death in the family. Okay, you're a sibling. Some say there's a father that died. You're trying to help your younger sibling, but at the same time dealing with your own grief. So if you like the older sibling and you have a much younger one, okay, and this is why they have become depressed, you dealing with their own thing. So them wanting to talk perhaps about mommy, but daddy's passing away, during 2020, we all remember COVID, people were there were lots of deaths, people were dying, they weren't able to have loved ones around them. So you might be dealing with that yourself. In which case, it might be very, very difficult for you to listen to the conversation about how daddy passed away. And okay, and you might then, so that's what I want to mean to say. We first understand what you can and cannot handle. Be clear about your own emotional and physical limits. Number two, right, setting boundaries. Second thing about setting boundary is to communicate clearly. So let your loved one know what your boundaries are in a kind and compassionate manner, for example, where you can say to the person something along is, I need a little bit of time to myself today, but I'll check in with you later. I can't make lunchtime today because I have to take my child to the doctor, but I'll pop in later on to see how you are. That way, you don't create difficulties in your own life. And you must communicate. Don't be shy about communicating it. Say, I can't come today. So let's say, as we said, you've taken the person to a clinic now, and yes, you did promise that you'll come visit, and they're expecting you to come today. But today you have a very important meeting, etc. There's a work meeting, your promotion depends on it. You can say, I can't come today, but I'll definitely come tomorrow. Okay, communicate. And then number three, importantly, is stick to your limits. So consistently enforcing your boundaries helps both you and your loved one. It prevents burnout from you, and it means that you have enough energy, okay, to provide consistent support. Okay, so stick to the limits. If you have worked out your schedule that you can visit them every second lunchtime, okay, stick to that. They'll learn to understand that also. Uh, don't constantly chop and change your plans because you're on your way to you. Remember, you have a life. Still, all your challenges still exist while you're trying to help the other person. Right. Then say no when it's necessary. It's okay to decline requests that you cannot handle. Please, can you lend me 10,000 rands? That will help me. If you don't have it, you have to say, I don't have 10,000 rands to lend you. I don't. I have 1,000 rand that I can lend you, or I can give you 1,000 rands, for example, but I don't have 10,000 rands. Or can you please pick my child up every day from school? That will help me a lot while I'm in the clinic. Can you please pick them up every day? Now, that may be very challenging. And you could say something like, let me see what I can do. Come back and say, I tried. I can pick them up on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay, a Tuesday and Friday, I will have to make another plan. So it's okay to say no while you being supportive. If you keep saying yes, 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 and your limits are being pushed, you are going to start getting angry. You're going to start getting irritable and resentful. And at that point, the relationship between you and the depressed person is going to take some strain. Then number five, okay, set firm time limits, meaning allocate specific time when you can support the person, and then allocate specific time for yourself. So, for example, I can help you for 1 hour after work, but then I also need to rest because then I have work tomorrow. So that you can say, I can help you do X, Y, or Z for 1 hour after work, but then I have to go home and rest because I also have things to do. Right, practicing self-care. So now this is where you come in. So prioritize your health. Make sure you are exercising. Make sure you are eating healthy. Make sure you are getting enough sleep. You don't have to stay up till 1, 2 a.m. every morning talking to the person every day. That might be necessary once or twice. We've all been there. Our friends are in crisis. We say phone us anytime. But if they start calling you every day, you have to set a limit and say, listen, I can't take the call at 2 a.m. every day. I can help you. You know, there's 8 of us here. Put us each on speed dial, and you can call me today, that one tomorrow, that one Wednesday, that one Friday, so that the people are sharing it. And you're not being woken up at 2 a.m. because that's usually sometimes where people want to talk. They wake up, they can't sleep to talk. Nothing wrong with that. But this is where that you can say, um, I'm unable to take that call from you every night because you also need sleep. Remember, you're not on holiday. You're still at work. You still got all your own challenges while you're trying to be supportive and helpful. So this is how you can help yourself while you're helping the other person. So I can just encourage you to be fitter, to be healthier, to eat well, to exercise enough, to get enough sleep. And very simple, practical thing, if there's 4 or 5 friends and the person needs to talk and say to them, okay, I'm here for you on a Monday, so and so's here on a Tuesday. You can call each of us on the two so that each of you only have your sleep broken once. Then take breaks. Number 2. Take breaks means take regular time for yourself to relax and recharge. Also, do the things that you like. So if you like playing sport, if you like playing paddle or soccer or rugby, make sure that you do that because those enjoyable things help you to have more energy, okay, to help you to then support the other person. Then, sorry, Mark, when things get bad, you need your own support. So I gave the example earlier on. If both of you have lost your dad, and you're trying to support your younger or your older sibling through it, you're also going to need your own therapy to help you to cope with this. Okay, you can't do it all on your own. So seek your own support, have your own friends that you can talk to and say, I'm also battling, I need some support as well. So that there is a support system built in. And while you get support, you're able to support the other person that you have chosen to help. Then set aside me time. What does it mean? Dedicate time each week to something just for you. That is not selfish. That is taking care of yourself. I don't mean like 4 days a week, but set aside an hour or two to do something just for you. If you like painting, if you like drawing, just make that an hour that's yours. If you like going for walks, if you like going to movies, if you like playing whatever, just like dedicate set aside me time where you can do a hobby that makes you happy. Then on the internet, there are many, many, many mindfulness and stress reduction techniques that one can. We're going to go slightly over today because we started late. So we're going to go beyond 8 o'clock. I hope that's okay with everybody. So on YouTube, on the internet, there are lots of mindfulness exercises. They are excellent. They're easy to do. Um, you can learn to do those things really easily. Then number 6 is stay socially connected to your own social circle. Okay, maintain your social connection, engage in your have with your friends, family members, who can also make you feel like you're okay and also give you support. This slide is about you. Then I say I'm repeating it, but recognize your own limits. Be aware when you're starting to burn out. Right, your performance at work is dipping. Your relationship with your spouse is collapsing because you're exhausted or you're irritable all the time or you're snappy yourself now, okay, because you're not getting enough sleep, because you're taking this phone call and you're talking for 3 or 4 hours to the person every evening till 1, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. Okay, you can't wake up for work, you're pitching up at work, you're exhausted, you're falling asleep. Not all colleagues are going to be supportive. Not all bosses are supportive. They want the job done. They may not be interested that you are helping. like to support a clinically depressed family member, friend, or colleague. They just want the work done. So recognize when you are starting, okay, to collapse yourself. At that point, it's useful for you to get professional help as well, especially if you're dealing with the same issue that the person you're supporting with is also dealing with. Then I want to say to you that I'm a very firm advocate in professional help of brain working recursive therapy. I recommend it, I suggest it now because I'm trained in it and I found how helpful it is, and I train other people. So in all of these situations, BWRT can help rewire your brain to help you to cope more effectively. If you're feeling helpless, if you're feeling irritable, if you're feeling you're out of your depth, BWRT can help you to rewire your brain so that you can deal more effectively with whatever it is that you're having to deal with. So the most important thing here is that when you're trying, okay, to assist a family member, a loved one, colleague who's clinically depressed. I've run through the slides again for you. Okay, these are the things that you can do is, okay, to recognize the symptoms. We've covered that today. Okay, these are red flags. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to, okay, support them. How do you support them? By approaching them with empathy and sensitivity. How do you do that? Educate, choose the right time and place, listen actively, acknowledge their feelings, be patient, non-judgmental, offer support, not solutions, very importantly. Not this is what I think you should do. And when I had the problem, there's a place for that, not now. Respect their brownies, check in regularly, take care of yourself. Coming to that. Practical steps, I said, be patient, assist them with daily tasks, offer to help promote a healthy lifestyle for them, stay connected to them, create a routine for them. If they can't do it themselves, write it down, put it on the fridge. Encourage small steps for them. Offer a distraction. You can take them out a bit, respect their space, encourage social interaction, and then professional help when you get to that point, and then help them to stick to the plan by being enthusiastic about this. And while you're doing all this, remember, you can be burning out yourself. So define your limits, know what you can and can't handle, communicate that clearly to the person, and then stick to your limits. No use defining them and then breaking your limits all the time. Say no when you have to. I can't do this today, but I will come tomorrow. And set time limits. I can be with you for 1 hour today. I can take a call from you for 1 hour, but after that, I have to sleep. Then your own self-care, said be fitter, be healthier, take breaks, seek your own support from your friends and family, set aside me time for your hobbies, do mindfulness, stay socially connected, recognize your own limits, and finally seek professional help yourself if you need it. And I strongly recommend that you find a BWRT practitioner, not necessarily me, but a BWRT practitioner, okay, who can help you do that. Good. Now I'm going through the questions as we always do. I need my glasses here for that purpose. Oops, happened here. Questions. Can one become depressed when you are consistently sick? I was diagnosed with IBS and it has me feeling horrible. Absolutely. So, chronic illnesses can definitely can lead you to becoming depressed because you feel helpless, you feel hopeless about it, and it just starts to get you down. So absolutely, the answer to the question is any kind of chronic illness, in this case IBS, but other chronic illnesses, pain, consistent pain can definitely lead you to becoming depressed and can help you feeling you can become very like stressed out. If you have panic attacks, for example, and maybe that's another conversation, another day, but having panic attacks and you're afraid to go anywhere because panic attack can lead you to become depressed because your world gets smaller and smaller. So the answer to that is yes. Okay, chronic illness can lead you to becoming depressed. Does depression cause detachment? Because I'm detached from all my family members except for my granny. Absolutely. So when you are depressed, you do lose emotional connection. You definitely lose emotional connection. And also, okay, you do become detached. For example, if you feel that people are judging you, if you feel that people are not being supportive of you, right, that can definitely make you feel detached from. So in your case, you only feel attached to your granny. Ask yourself why. Perhaps your granny offers unconditional support. Perhaps she makes really great, healthy food for you. Perhaps she's there to hug you and kiss you. I don't know, but there'd be a reason why that you're detached from everybody else, but not your granny. So you're still able to attach. It's just that you're choosing to detach yourself, perhaps from the people that you believe are causing or contributing to your depression. Right, other questions here? Um, how can I help my teenage son through his depression when I'm also trying to cope with my own issues? Okay, thank you for that question. So you remember I said earlier on that if you're dealing with something yourself, you may also going to have you will need professional support yourself. Teenagehood is a very complicated time of life, okay, especially teenage boys and girls, very complicated things, hormonal changes, bullying at school, academic stuff. So you can help your teenage son based on the things that I've said here today, but at the same time recognizing what you can and can't deal with, and then you both may need to get professional help. Um, right. How effective is a support group for family members who are dealing with someone with depression? I would suggest professionally run support groups are very helpful. The reason for that is because often family members think only they suffering from X, Y, or Z. And in a support group, you get to realize that everybody's battling with the same thing. And so I would suggest that's always very helpful. Find a professionally run support group, and okay, all family members can. Usually, when a person is admitted to a mental health clinic, they often run support groups themselves. They invite family members to come to learn support, that offer support to you. And my last question I'm going to take is my depression has made it harder for me to cope in school. I cannot even read properly or retain or process any information, even a simple sentence. I would completely forget what I'm reading right after reading a sentence. Is there a way to surpass this? Yes. So you will recall I said that when we get depressed, one of the things that goes first is our concentration. Concentration goes, I spoke about like memory going, not remembering things. It's very difficult to take in information, hold the information, use the information. Is there a way to surpass this? Yes, you're going to have to get professional help on this issue, okay, to help you to learn methodologies to cope with it. But yes, you're absolutely right that one of the things that depression does cause is it causes loss of concentration and focus and attention. It's very hard to pay attention and focus on things while you are depressed. Right. On that note, it's 10 past 9. I'm going to stop now. So um, hopefully you found this very, very helpful. So what are we going to cover next week? Let's go back to the starting. So inshallah, next week we're covering specifically how to maintain mental wellness as a goal, not specifically around depression, but around for yourself. I'm going to discuss ways for you to remain mentally well. So that's what we'll discuss next week, inshallah. Hope you enjoyed this all, and I shall see you next week. Assalamu alaikum.